So I'm making some nuts for my favorite nuts. Some spiced rosemary nuts. And they're pretty daggone good. What I've got going on here, I got a great deal on these nuts too at Kroger. They were $9.99 for this big bag of 2 pounds of nuts. And then I had another bag for like $6. I already made those. So I figured I made out like a bandit on that because last year when I made nuts it cost me $40. And I got some cayenne pepper here, some rosemary, some curry powder, which is optional. But definitely, if you're going to make spiced rosemary nuts, you're going to have some cayenne and the rosemary. And a little butter and some brown sugar. And I've got all that going on over here in this pan, melting. I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, a half of a teaspoon of cayenne, and probably a quarter of a teaspoon of curry. And they're real simple. I'm going to just take about half this bag, because that calls for 1 pound of nuts to go in here, which is 3 cups actually. I better measure and be on the safe side. If we get anybody in here or not, I'm going to give everybody an update on the Backpacks of Blessings too. 2 cups. We got somebody in here. And 3 cups. There's 2 pounds in that bag. Yeah, for $16 to get 4 pounds of mixed nuts with cashews, pecans, what else is in here? Walnuts. I think that's it. It's a pretty good deal. And then all I'm going to do is mix them up here in the pan. Get them coated really good. But the Backpacks of Blessings have gone really well. I still have 2 backpacks to give out. But the first couple backpacks that I gave out was an interesting story. Because I went to a Walgreens. I didn't really see anybody through downtown. We've been having bad weather. We were having rain and a lot of stuff that night. So I didn't get any passed out that night. But the next night, I stopped at Walgreens just by happen chance. I didn't actually see these people until I got out of the car and started to go in the store. Well, I just saw the guy standing outside, and I asked him, I said, "Sir, would you like a backpack?" He's like, "Yeah, I'd love one. You know, he already had one and everything." But and then he proceeded to tell me how he had a full-time job, and I'm gonna add the rosemary now, and that he made $2,000 a month. Which, you know, if that's all I made, I wouldn't be able to afford housing either. And his wife was disabled, and then she came out, and I asked him, I said, "Well, would your wife want a backpack as well?" He's like, "Sure, you know, these people are so appreciative." You know, and it's not like I was speaking to somebody who had an alcohol problem or anything like that. I could tell that they were just down on their luck because, you know, they're trying to work and support themselves just like everybody else in the world. But Anyway, I went in the store after giving them the backpacks, and then I came back out, and they were eating the cookies like they were just starved to death. I mean, they just tore into the snacks, and I mean, we're just shoving it in. I was like, oh my gosh, these poor people are starving. And it's just really sad. It breaks my heart when I see people like that. So I just gave them 20 bucks and told them to go get a meal, you know. So that was the first story of the 2 backpacks. And then I saw Buford, which I actually got that one on film. And I posted that yesterday. And he's at Speedway. And this poor man, he was an elderly man. He was in between the ice machine and the store, sort of in a cubby hole with a bunch of blankets over top of him. It was cold yesterday. And so I asked him if he wanted a backpack, and he's like, yeah, I'd really love a backpack. Mine broke on me, so that was just, you know, a true blessing to him. And he wanted a cup of coffee, so that worked out well. And I thought, well, I'm going to ride downtown here while I'm out, just see if I can see anybody else. And I did see one more guy, a black gentleman. He was in a wheelchair, and it was just so pitiful to see this man. It was, I'm not sure if he was even homeless. I think he just wanted somebody to talk to, and he was just out on the street sort of watching traffic, sitting in his wheelchair. He had some backpacks attached to his wheelchair on the back and some belongings and bags and stuff. So I don't know, he could have been homeless, but he really appreciated it as well. And I think he just really wanted somebody to talk to. Sometimes if you just say hi and smile to somebody and have a little conversation, they appreciate that too. So it's all working out pretty good so far. And yeah, once you get all this mixed together, I'm going to stick it in like a little roasting pan. Roast them at 350 for about 10 minutes, and they make your house smell wonderful. And got what shopping I was going to get done yesterday for people that I feel like I should buy for. Mainly just employers that are very generous to me, so I'd say that's what everybody's busy doing. But I was actually surprised when I went out earlier, because I had to go get Rosemary, and I was out all day yesterday doing the shopping and the backpack thing. There was hardly anybody out Christmas shopping, and that's a rarity around here. The traffic wasn't bad, and I'm just thinking, wow, people really can't do Christmas this year. I mean, how can you with this economy? Can't do much of anything. Alright, now I'm going to transport them to this. I might put a little more rosemary in there. The first batch I made for one of my favorite nuts is a little bit spicy. I overdid the cayenne, but they're still good. I'm going to save the rest for the last batch. And once you get them in the oven and roasting, everything sort of gets stuck together. Transport them over here to this full line pan. Let's get some of the brown sugar goodness in there. It's stuck to the bottom. These make good little gifts if you want to put them in little tins. I went to the Dollar Tree earlier, tried to get some tins, but they were out. So I'll have to try another one. Everybody was at the Dollar Tree shopping. I don't blame them. That's where I got most of my stuff for the backpacks. And we have our finished almost finished product. They smell wonderful, they really do. Stick them in there, about 10 minutes. So who do we got in here? Anybody? My house smells like a Christmas tree already. I'm surprised the bunny's not out eating. Anyway, that's how you make the spicy Christmas nuts. I do have some finished ones right here in this container. These are the extra spicy ones for my friend. My favorite nut. I had to get in them a little bit. I'll have to replenish what I ate. They're really good. I see the YouTube scammer still at it. Still doing his thing. He did a little damage control and still has those followers. Drinking that Kool-Aid. Drinking that unsweetened Kool-Aid where you gotta buy the sugar. I'm really not trying to down anybody, but it's just really ridiculous. That dude really needs to stop taking people's money at this point. And surprisingly, I'm one of those people who will just speak up when most people won't. And surprisingly, I didn't get a lot of flack from that video. I thought I would. I mean, yeah, there was some, of course, but, most people agree that that's just gotten out of hand with that guy. I hope anybody can get off drugs and straighten their life out and find God. I'm totally up for that, but, just quit bumming it. Quit asking for money. It really doesn't even ask for it. He just formals. That's what we call it. What's what we call it down here in the South when you don't actually come out and intentionally ask for something, but you do it passively all the time because you're always in distress. That's poor mouthing. And then they know good people are going to shell out, open that wallet time and time and time again. Anyway, I won't keep running my jibs. I just wanted to show everybody how to make some good spicy rosemary nuts. And I'll get off of here. I'm about ready to make some salmon patties, I think, for dinner. That'll be my dinner for the next 2 or 3 nights. But if you make these nuts, they're really, really good. They make your house smell like a Christmas tree. You've got sweet, you've got spicy, you've got savory, you got a little bit of everything. They're really good, make good gifts. Hope everybody's doing well out there and staying narc-free and borderline-free. I know I sure am. Hey, demigod. Well, thank you. They are yummy. I'm glad you could join me. Did you see the YouTube scammer today? Still poor Melvin. Better retake his car away. I believe he needs $99 for a doctor. Just saying. He could use some propane. He could use a lot of things. Let me tell you what going to church is going to get you. Some free Christmas gifts for your kids. That's what. Been working the system for years, that dude has. Because I know I've been around people like that for years. I just don't see how a person can go from swiping an EBT card to skinning a buck and running a trout line. It just don't work that way. It does not work that way. And taking advantage of those good people. Those people at that place where he works, they have not a clue. They have not a clue about that guy. They're going to find out one day, though. They ain't no hiding it anymore. What time is it over in the UK, Demigod? Well, I guess I'll start on my salmon. See if anybody wants to talk. If not, talk here. Demigod says, I still haven't fully caught up. Yes, I saw one where he was spitting every 20 seconds. Ooh. Yeah, I saw that too. It is pretty gross. When you're spitting and trying to preach the word of God there. Which I don't look down, like I said, I don't look down on anybody for trying to straighten up their life. I really don't. But it's just, I can see right through that guy. It's very disturbing. He doesn't come right out and ask for anything, but he just wants everybody to know it's going to cost $99 to get them boxings, Probably more than that, but that's just to get the online doctor. And he wants everybody to know that he's out of propane and, all that good stuff. That's why people should know, too, being truthers, they should know what churches are all about. When you go to church, you're going to an establishment that's tax-free and they're just trying to make money off of you. Churches are like the worst place you can actually go. Unless you want donations. It's probably the best place you can go if you want Christmas gifts for your kids. And that's the really sad part is his kids are suffering the most. That's the really sad part. It is gross. That spitting's disgusting. Well, that is a deal breaker with any guy who spits tobacco. That's just, it's disgusting. At least don't do it on camera. My goodness. It is disgusting. Like I said earlier, how do you go from scanning the EBT card And that's the only way you know how to get food, you know, to skinning a buck, running a trout line, couldn't plant a seed, couldn't do anything like that. Filter water, start a campfire, gee whiz. Starting a community, the guy couldn't even start a campfire. Ooh, they look yummy too. They look nice and golden brown. And they smell delicious. Now, I guess you can watch me make some salmon patties. What I put in mine, usually some crackers, but I don't think I have any crackers today. I'm going to do I thought, how disrespectful. Ooh, gross. You're making me laugh down here. Well, good. I'm glad I can make you laugh a little bit, Demigod. We need to laugh. But he's being pretty out in the open about, not telling his boss what's going on now. And he's, being out in the open about that big long line of charges that he's had throughout the years. All them civil suits and charges he's had. His first felony he's got to face up to. And that's another thing. He's laying it on so thick. I mean, laying it on thick. Because he knows it's all about to go down. With the Bible, the God stuff, He just wants y'all to know he's dope sick and he needs his boxings and his car's about to be repoed, and he would like it if y'all would replace it for him or at least make his car payments for the last 3 months. And, he's just putting it out there for everybody so they'll know. They'll know what's up. Anybody that deletes all their videos, man, that says it all right there. I'm sorry, but it does. You got something to hide if you're deleting all your videos. Look, I dated a narcissist for 3 years, a career criminal narcissist. So I know all the moves that they pull. I know all of them. And before that, I was with a borderline male for about 15 years who kind of like him were one day everything's good, the next day everything's bad, crying about stuff all the time. He's found that God can vet him off his charges. Yeah. He's about to find out that God helps those who help themselves. That's right. Exactly right. At some point, you got to help yourself. I've been in trouble. I'm not an angel. I did a lot of bad things when I was younger, especially in my 20s. And I got into some thievery, I'll admit it, when I was about 27 years old, and I got in some trouble. And that's when I actually turned to God, too. And I did. I didn't do any time as my first offense, and it wasn't a felony, but, I got put on probation, had to pay restitution, and so on and so forth. Well, I went out in the woods, and I prayed to God, and I wanted my life to change. And, well, when you actually try and you make things change, it happens. I didn't want to drink anymore. I quit drinking. I didn't want to lie anymore. I didn't want to steal anymore, and I didn't. I mean, there comes a time when you have to grow up and be an adult. When you're in your 40s and you're still doing it, there's a problem there. It's a pattern. It's not going to go away. I know, he doesn't act very well when he's crying, does he? You actually have to produce tears. But he does produce tears when he's in a bad situation. Like when he's in his car for the night, needs a motel. He can produce them then. No problem. I like to take the bones out of my salmon. And the skin. It's kind of grody. But yeah, those poor kids there, man. And it's just a shame that really their mother didn't want them either. I mean, it's not that he doesn't want them, and I see that he's good with his children. I see that he's good with his children, but he doesn't want to support them. He expects everybody else to do it because they've worked the system for all these years. Believe me, I know. When I dated a narcissist for 3 years, he'd have thousands of dollars in the bank, and he'd still work that system, boy. Every penny he could get. Food stamps, any kind of anything, lawsuits, you name it, he'd do it. They're professionals. Selling dope, he did that too. I put that on my channel where he got caught recently. But then I was with a borderline male for 15 years who acts a lot like that too. He turns the camera away and puts waters in his eyes. He might. He does turn the camera away a lot. Who knows? Their mother's claiming cash and everything possible over. I know. That's why the dude doesn't have any money, because he's sending it all to her. She just wants her smokes and sleeping in every day. That's all she cares about. And keep them kids down there. Don't send them back. She's getting all the benefits. She's the one got the EBT card and all the checks rolling in over there. It's crazy. Yeah, I know many people to work that system, and they don't ever stop either. They'll do it till they die, believe me. When you've been doing it your whole life, it's hard to just stop. Like I said, they ain't gonna go skin a buck and run a trout line. It ain't happening. He's gonna have to get Junior or somebody up under that camper and fix that damn thing he can't turn on or whatever. He's gonna have to get somebody. Bubba or Junior's gonna have to get out there and do that for him. He's not gonna be able to. Somebody sent him some dishes too, and I guess they got all broken in the process. That's what happens when you're getting free stuff all the time. It's just called karma. Yes, they're taking benefits and he's not paying tax. So again, the take from every possible angle. That's right. Every possible angle. Everyone. And I've noticed too, if you noticed on his record, this is the third body shop this dude has been at, where he's not scammed these people yet. Well, he did get a free camper, but it's like he goes to these body shops and gets these jobs. He gets in real good with these people, and then he starts scamming them and getting what he can, or whatever he does that lands him in court with every single one. Just saying. Yep, lived with a borderline 15 years, dated a narcissist for 3 years. I know all the tricks of the trade. All of them. Not unfamiliar at all. Well, daggone, I had no crackers. A couple. What in the world am I going to use for a filler? Let's see. Yes, bless, they had to cut milk cartons to make bowls for the children. Make bowls for the children, but the dogs got brand new bowls straight away. That's right. I didn't know they had to do that. That's sad. Well, we don't know where the dogs are now. They could be dead on the side of the road for all we know. We kept him up all night. People like that. That's another thing. I've known people, homeless, living in their car, who had the enabler parents, that bought their cigarettes, their liquor, everything throughout their life so they never went to work actually would get dogs and make them live like that. It's disgusting. Children shouldn't be living like that. Dogs shouldn't be living like that. Nobody should be. Oh, I can use oatmeal. And another thing that really kind of irked me is when he said that I was over here getting my rocks off. You know, I do enjoy exposing POS people. I do. I enjoy it, but I'm not getting my rocks off. I might get them off, though, when he actually lands in a cell where he belongs. It's ripping people off. It might be orgasmic. And we're all psychopaths over here. Psychopaths and haters. That's what we are. I've been called way worse. I started this whole channel because of people like that. Let's see, I need some onion. Yep, the Republic is always in distress, that's for sure. Distress, distress, distress. Oatmeal, egg, and onion for the fillers. And then I'm going to have a little sweet potato and some broccoli and cheese. Those poor kids, I bet they don't get a home-cooked meal. It's sad. Very, very sad. The whole situation is, and he puts it all out for the whole world to see. Yeah, I dated a borderline for 15 years. Well, I lived with a borderline male for 15 years. That would, everything one day would be all good. The next day, everything would be all bad. Crying fixed, temper tantrums. Everything was everybody else's fault. Does that sound familiar? Everything is everybody else's fault. New guy's fault. Just like, it just reminds me so much of what I dealt with in the past with my relationships. That's why I'll never have another one again. They put on a new persona too. Like, you know, you go from the Chicago thug life to wearing camo, like within a day's time. My ex was like that too. It just depended on what environment he was in. Anyway, I guess I'll get off here. Quit rattling my jibs. The dude, quite frankly, makes me upset anyway. Continue on with my salmon patties. I need to go feed my bunny. Thanks for chatting with me, Demigog. I hope y'all are out there staying narc free and borderline free. Later, y'all.